Hey everyone, and welcome back to Grow Leafy. Does it take you a very long time to set up your raised beds in the spring for your spring and summer gardens? In this video, if it takes you some time, I'm going to show you my secret of what I do to prepare my raised beds so that it only takes me 0 minutes to get it started. So with everything I like to do some preparations. A lot of my preparations, they happen in the fall. And when I come out in the spring, all I have to do is this. Pull it back, and my soil's ready for planting. This soil was prepped in the fall, and the rest of this video is actually going to be me demonstrating how I prepared it in the fall. It was this bed and that bed, but in particular, we are looking at this bed. And if you are getting started with a raised bed right now in the spring, it may take you some time just because it's not prepped in the fall. But now that you've got it started and you're getting your garden started this year, then this is something that is really important that you can do in the fall so that in the spring and the summer, all you have to do is just pull your protective mulch away and just plant directly into your soil. So watch this rest of this video so you can see exactly how this is done. And if you want to look at part 1 and part 2 of this video series, I actually show you exactly how I got this bed started, how I leveled the ground, and how I installed some hardware cloth to keep some of the voles away that like to tear around into my yard. So make sure that you go ahead and watch those videos as well. I've got stuff in my garden that I'm going to recycle and use. This pot had no disease or anything like that, but I'm going to use it and recycle it because it's good soil, and I'm going to use it in this raised bed. Same thing with this. This was a mixture from a previous garden pot that I was using, and it was a mixture of, look, even the tag is still in there. So let me toss that aside. You can see, what was I growing in here? I was growing basil. Hopefully nothing went to seed. I cleared out my basil and harvested it, so there shouldn't be any basil seeds in there. But it was a mixture of some, let's see, I see some perlite in here. Look, this is really good. I even see roots from the basil. That's really great because it will feed the soil. Another thing I see in here, there's a mixture of, because it was from a garden company, so it was a mixture of compost, maybe pine fines, sand, let's see what else, topsoil. But I also mixed some peat moss in here, and I can tell that with this peat moss, I added some perlite in it as well. But just a key point just to remember, and I'll link another video for you here. When you get soil from a landscape company, it may not be fully balanced well. So you may have to still substantially amend it and add more compost in it, maybe some shredded leaves, dry leaves, so that you can really help with the soil structure, because sometimes it's not balanced well because they're doing it in bulk. But just something to keep in mind. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to add some more compost to it. I may even add some dry leaves that I did pick up with my lawnmower. And let's see what else. I've got some peat moss, cardboard, anything like that, just to line the bottom of that raised bed as well. And that's really good for just to help with suppressing the weeds that are underneath there. This is going to help to give that extra darkness that it needs, but it's also going to feed the soil and the microorganisms on the bottom. So the worms are going to break that up, and they're going to love it too. I'm going to do this fairly quickly because the weather is really cold. Like I said, I'm not sure when you all are going to see this video, but I just need you to know how cold I am. All right. And this is why I'm rushing to get this done. Some people even put some twigs and things like that in there, and you can do that. But I'm not going to, because this is not super deep. It's only a foot deep of a raised bed. And I'll actually link the raised bed. It is a galvanized 3x3 fire ring. And I will link that in the description for you as well, because some people may be interested in knowing that. So if I can't lift this, let's see. See, I just think it's great just to kind of reuse what you already have, rather than going out buying more soil bags or anything like that. This is what you call a dirty job. This is a dirty job. And I'm adding peat moss to it because sometimes, like I mentioned, the garden soil is not always mixed as well, and that peat moss will really help with the soil structure and breaking it up. All right. Jeez, that was cold. My fingers are cold. All right. The work comes with mixing it yourself. You get ready with some kind of mulch that you're going to use on top, whether it's a leaf mulch, wood chips, straw, hemp mulch, whatever you need to use, pine straw, just whatever it is. Make sure that you have something to cover that up, because you work too hard not to protect the soil because you're really trying to make it healthy. I'm going to go off and get some compost. Just to show you the compost that I have here, this is compost that I actually did purchase, and it is purchased, and it's from, let's see, they got it from a horse farm. That's what I asked them, and this is where they tell me where they got it from. Yeah, I also have compost, 3 GeoBin compost bins here that I am composting. Let me go ahead and just show you that really quick. If you want to see my compost videos, make sure you go to my playlist on my YouTube channel, because I have a bunch of things on there that you can see about composting and how I started these bins. Now, I threw a lot of greens in. I still need to put a lot more brown material. I have leaves over there, and I still got to have fun with these pumpkins. So I'm trying to still get to this, but I'm not going to have time to get to that today. And just so that you can get an idea of what it starts to look like once it's breaking down. Look, I look in there. Yeah, but this won't be ready till next year. But I just want to show you that you can save a lot of money instead of going out and buying compost, making your own. The reason why I have to buy a compost in additionally is because I have 21 raised beds. There's so many, and there's a lot that I'm starting. It just wasn't enough for what I had that I was building myself. Go ahead and drop this peat moss in here. And I've got more of this if I need any, but this should be enough. I do everything by estimate. Let me break this up a little. Compressed peat moss in bags like this tend to get a little clumpy, so loosening up first really helps to just break up those large chunks. All right, let me get some compost. All right. First of all, adding recycled materials saves you money in your pockets, but also composting really helps when you add it because it adds beneficial microorganisms into your soil. Because I have so many beds, in addition to the compost that I make on my property, I also purchase some as well. You see all these roots? This is good. These roots will also break down, add some nitrogen, some nutrients in there. But look, that's good. That's good stuff. Go ahead and now mix this up. Because peat is very acidic, adding compost and some organic material that you'll see a little later on will help balance that out. Peat moss is very light, so it's easy to see if this is being mixed well or not. Doing this in the fall is so helpful and cuts back on my springtime prep because it is so laborious, and this is why I like doing it then. Now, you could add also some vermiculite, which I may add in here. But I already saw quite a bit of perlite in here, so I believe then that garden pot, the way I mixed it, I added in enough perlite in there already. But you can add some vermiculite or perlite which helps with aeration of the soil. And also the vermiculite also helps with retaining moisture as well. All right, I'm gonna add some leaves in here. They're supposed to be shredded. They're not shredded as fine as I want them to be, but that's gonna have to do. This is the organic matter that I was referring to. The leaves will also help with retaining moisture, and it will break down over time to feed the microorganisms in the soil. When those microorganisms are fed, they drop back nutrients into the soil to feed the plants. It's a quite cool, interesting symbiotic relationship. That peat moss is now one with the color. So it's all mixed with it. Compost is all mixed in. The leaves are mixed in. What's this? Yeah, I can tell that's some topsoil as well, which is in here. And in the spring, we'll talk a little bit more about what you need for when you start your beds. Look up, there's some more peat moss down here. But just some ingredients. There's so many different ways of doing things. There's not just one way, but you just want to make sure that it is balanced. Activating it now with the water, which is going to get those leaves activated. And I just want to water it one good time before everything just freezes over. Time to top it off with leaves or whatever mulch is your choice, and even it out. Now, these leaves are a little moist already because we've had rain, but I'm still gonna spray it down. This will help just settle the leaves so they don't go blowing away. And that's it. That's how you fill a raised bed so that you can get it ready for gardening. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that it answered any questions that you may have. If you have additional questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But I want you to give me a subscribe, a like, a thumbs up. Just let me know how this is going, how this video was for you, how this channel is going for you. And just remember to grow, eat, self-care, and I will see you all soon. Bye.